Good evening, I'm Adrian Arsenault in Japan. Canada's Penny Oleksiak reaches for the wall of Canadian Olympic history.
It is Penny Oleksiak inching ahead of Simone Manuel.
Plus, why superstar gymnast Simone Biles pulled out of a team event.
I'm Ian Hannamansing in Vancouver. Also tonight, farmers talk about their mental health.
I feel like I did everything I could. You can't make it rain.
The brutal toll of a prairie drought. Tough new masking advice south of the border.
So with Delta, the bar has suddenly been raised on us, and we have to react accordingly.
And one First Nations dispute with Ottawa.
Today, they're still saying, hey, look, folks, you can't do better than we can.
Fighting for control of their own money. This is The National. This hour in Tokyo, a young Canadian athlete could make Olympic history. 21-year-old swimmer Penny Oleksiak could add yet another Olympic medal.
Penny Oleksiak brings it home.
This 4x100 relay on Sunday earned her silver, the 5th medal of her Olympic career. Later this hour, she'll be aiming for more glory, this time in the 200-meter freestyle. And Adrian will put all of this in perspective for us. Tell us what it's like there, Adrian, and what's at stake.
Hey there, Ian. I wish I could say it was really loud, that the crowds were roaring. You know that's not happening, but it is incredibly exciting here, especially for Canadians back home watching. There are 2 Canadian swimmers about to compete today, but all eyes for the moment are on Canada's Lucky Penny. This event is one she didn't actually compete in Rio in 2016. It'll be even more interesting then to see how she fares this time. And the reason why everybody talks about this as history is because if Penny Oleksiak earns a medal here today, she becomes the most decorated summer Olympian in Canadian history. It will give her 6 medals. That puts her in a tie with Clara Hughes, a great Clara Hughes and Cindy Klassen. And there is still time not to pile on the pressure, but there are people watching the numbers and saying there's still time in Tokyo for her to become the most decorated Canadian Olympian of all time.
So many expectations on her, Adrian, and you interviewed Penny before the Olympics, and she told you about what can sometimes be the burden of those expectations.
That's right. She said that when she went into Rio, she quite enjoyed it. Nobody knew who she was, she says, but after, everybody knew who she was. And every competition she went to, Ian, after that, she felt like she had to win or she was nothing. That was sort of her impression, is that she was a loser if she didn't take everything. And it was so difficult that she had to take a break from swimming. And in a strange way, the pandemic has helped her. It bought her more time to think, to focus, to really train on what she's good at. And she certainly looks and sounds as if she's in a fantastic place here.
All right, Adrian, we look forward to more of your coverage from Tokyo later this hour. The mental health of athletes has been top of mind for many today. U.S. gymnast Simone Biles cited the immense pressure as one reason for suddenly withdrawing from the team competition. Briar Stewart has the details.
It was a highly anticipated competition, and all eyes were on Simone Biles as she prepared to vault. That stumble on the landing, uncharacteristic for a gymnast used to being #1. After that vault, Biles left the floor, and when she came back, she was out of the team final. The U.S. carried on without her, but it was the athletes from Russia who took gold, leaving the Americans with silver.
I'm just super proud of all of us.
The pressure on the U.S. gymnastics team, and particularly Biles, has been immense. After the team placed second in qualifications on Sunday, she took to social media to say that she sometimes feels like she has the weight of the world on her shoulders. After the medal ceremony, Biles said she was struggling mentally in the hours leading up to the final.
I was just like shaking, could barely nap. I've just never felt like this going into a competition before. Once I came out here, I was like, no, mental is not there, so I just need to let the girls do it and focus on myself.
Expectations were sky high. Biles admitted that the last year has been very stressful.
This has been an incredibly different Olympic Games for everyone involved. And for the athletes in particular, I can only imagine the changes in their routine, as well as not having the people there that might normally be there to support them, and feeling really isolated.
Biles said she decided to pull out of the final because she didn't want her performance to jeopardize her team's chance at getting a medal.
And that's why we have teammates, because if somebody's feeling down, you have to step up, and they did just that. So kudos to them.
No, kudos to you. You're the greatest.
Biles is supposed to compete on Thursday in the individual all-around. When asked if she would, Biles wouldn't give a definitive answer, only saying she would take it day by day. Briar Stewart, CBC News, Tokyo.
If you've been watching Olympic gymnastics over the years, you may have noticed the sport has evolved quite a bit.
The definite impact is knowing that gymnastics is no longer a young people's sport.
Later in the show, we'll look at how today's gymnasts have changed what it takes to be at the top of their sport. Outside the Olympic venues, Tokyo is seeing a disturbing rise in COVID cases. On Tuesday, the city hit a record for daily new infections, reporting more than 2,800 cases. Hospitals are reportedly being asked to prepare more beds, but Japan's prime minister says the high case count will not affect the Games. Now let's turn to Canada's COVID story and this announcement from the Prime Minister today.
Canada now has enough COVID-19 vaccines delivered to fully vaccinated everyone who's eligible for a shot.
Trudeau said 66 million doses have now been delivered. That's more than enough for everyone 12 and up. Trudeau strongly urged unvaccinated Canadians to get their shots. For the top junior hockey players in Ontario and Quebec leagues, vaccination is not optional, not if they want to play this fall. Officials are desperate to prevent another pandemic season like the last one. Sarah Levitt looks at what they're doing to try to keep COVID out of the rink.
Let the games begin.
With puck drop just a few months away, Canada's major junior hockey leagues want to be prepared, and doing that means shots in the arms. Both the Quebec Major Junior and Ontario hockey leagues say this season it's mandatory.
Head coaches, assistant coaches, therapists, trainers, obviously including the players, so they need to be fully vaccinated to be able to participate in our activities.
It was a stop-and-go season in the Quebec League last year, with many teams sidelined at one point or another thanks to positive cases. The Ontario Hockey League scrapped its season entirely. The Western Hockey League isn't making vaccination mandatory yet. Should restrictions on travel across the Canada-U.S. border not change, we may be required to mandate vaccinations for WHL players and personnel. Vaccines or not, experts say leagues can't let their guard down.
It depends who the players are in contact with, right? So they're not just in contact with the people in the community in the league. They are going out, they're seeing other friends, they're seeing other families. So the risk tolerance really, it depends on who those people are in contact with.
Stringent COVID-19 protocols like mask wearing should remain in place, she says.
Obviously, we wanted to avoid getting into reliving what we had to go through last season.
The next hurdle? There's a goal! Packing the stands. Sarah Levitt, CBC News, Montreal.
There's confusion and frustration in the U.S. tonight as the Delta variant sweeps the country. Just weeks after millions of Americans thought they were finally done with masks, many are being asked to cover up again. Chris Reyes looks at the reasons and the reaction.
A U-turn from the CDC, less than 2 months after giving vaccinated people the green light to get rid of their masks, the agency's director now has this urgent message. Put them back on in indoor public spaces. That includes students and staff at K-12 schools. The new recommendation applies to those living in areas with high or substantial transmission rates of the virus. This map by the CDC shows that's about 2/3 of the U.S.
The Delta variant is showing every day its willingness to outsmart us and to be an opportunist in areas where we have not shown a fortified response against it.
CDC officials said the reason for the change, new data that shows vaccinated people on rare occasions can spread the Delta variant. Also troubling, in some instances, they carried the same viral load as an unvaccinated person.
It's understandable because this whole pandemic has been moving so quickly. The more infectious a virus is, the higher the bar for herd immunity. So with Delta, the bar has suddenly been raised on us, and we have to react accordingly.
Biden blamed unvaccinated Americans for sowing confusion over the situation, not the CDC's changing guidelines.
If those other 100 million people got vaccinated, we'd be in a very different world.
We are for freedom all the way.
This mask-burning protest in Florida, a state with high transmission rates of the virus, is one example of the uphill battle health officials are fighting.
None of us like wearing masks. People need to get vaccinated.
Also in Florida, a different message. The 62-year-old man who's fighting COVID urging others not to make the same mistake he did by not getting the shot.
Take it, do the right thing.
With the Delta variant now making up the majority of new COVID cases in the U.S., CDC officials say masks will be here to stay until more people get vaccinated. Chris Reyes, CBC News, New York.
Washington lawmakers have opened hearings into the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. Republicans have largely refused to take part, but many of their supporters were called out today by the police officers who bore the brunt of the lawlessness. Judy Trin has the details.
We've been pranked and we've lost our lives.
Stark new police body camera footage of the moment when the Capitol was breached. Viewed by lawmakers tasked with finding answers in the haze of politics.
This threat hasn't gone away. It looms over our democracy like a dark cloud. And those rioters breached the Capitol.
Today's witnesses, 4 police officers who defended the Capitol from a violent mob.
But on January 6th, for the first time, I was more afraid to work at the Capitol than my entire deployment to Iraq.
We need to hear him tease now.
One officer lost consciousness after being tased with his own weapon.
Mike, it's Jimmy, I'm here.
Michael Fanone survived a heart attack and a brain injury.
I feel like I went to hell and back to protect them and the people in this room. But too many are now telling me that hell doesn't exist, or that hell actually wasn't that bad. The indifference shown to my colleagues is disgraceful.
The officers want the committee to investigate if people with power helped coordinate the attacks.
And some wearing MAGA hats and shirts that said Trump 2020. I told them to just leave the Capitol, and in response they yelled, "No, man, this is our house. President Trump invited us here."
There are many known organizations with ties to white supremacy.
2 Republicans are part of the hearings in defiance of their party.
You know, democracies are not defined by our bad days. We're defined by how we come back from bad days.
The House committee plans to hold another hearing into the Capitol attack later this summer. And if necessary, members say they will subpoena Trump's top aides and even the former president himself. Judy Trin, CBC News, Washington.
Already convicted of manslaughter, today Bradley Barton was given a prison sentence of 12 and a half years in the death of Cindy Gladue.
I'm glad it's over 10 years, and I only wish that Barton would have got medical help for her. You know, maybe she would have been here today.
Gladue was found dead in an Alberta hotel room about a decade ago. This was the second trial for Barton. His acquittal in his first sparked protest across the country and calls for justice for Indigenous women. As calls increase for accountability for what happened in residential schools, today a new development. The Manitoba RCMP has revealed a years-long investigation into sexual abuse allegations at one former school. Austin Grabish has the story.
In 1990, Phil Fontaine shocked the nation.
My grade 3 class, if there were 20 boys in this particular class, every single one of the 20 would have experienced what I experienced.
The then head of the Assembly of Manitoba Chiefs revealing he had been sexually abused at the Fort Alexander Residential School on Seguin First Nation. At the time, he demanded an investigation from the Catholic Church, which ran the school. Today, decades later, the RCMP revealed it has been investigating. that it started looking into allegations of abuse in 2010 and launched a criminal investigation a year later, and that police have talked to more than 700 people across North America, gathered 75 witness and victim statements, and combed through thousands of documents.
There are rapists and murderers who are still living, who committed these horrific crimes.
Mounties have probed abuse at residential schools before. In 1994, BC RCMP created a task force to investigate historic, physical, and sexual abuse at 15 church-run schools. Hundreds of victims were identified, resulting in 148 convictions for sexual assault. Jacqueline Romano has friends who were abused at the Fort Alexander School. She says today's news will open old wounds.
I know that these experiences shaped their lives, affected their ability to trust.
Today, I think all of our thoughts and prayers are with a community that is deeply hurting.
Manitoba RCMP aren't the only ones investigating. Saskatchewan Mounties say they are looking into alleged abuse at one school. Manitoba prosecutors are now reviewing evidence to see if any charges will be laid here. Austin Grabish, CBC News, Winnipeg.
And CBC has a new Indigenous-led team investigating the impacts and harms caused by residential schools. If you have information, tips, or something you want to share, you can email us. Where are they? At cbc.ca. In Alberta, the Bearspaw First Nation is fighting for the right to control its own savings. The band has about $50 million in oil and gas royalties, but as Kyle Bax reports, leaders say the federal government isn't releasing the money and isn't telling them why.
Frustration is growing on the Bearspaw First Nation. The band wants to take full control of the money it's earned through oil and gas activity in the area and move it into a trust fund. The aim is to earn more interest and be more autonomous.
It's unfortunate because we're not asking for no handouts. All we're asking is to manage money that belongs to us.
The money, about $50 million, is controlled by the federal government. Bearspaw's chief says he can't understand why Ottawa keeps delaying the transfer of funds, but it sends a message of mistrust.
Today, they're still saying, hey, look, folks, you can't look after your money. You can't do better than we can.
A federal government spokesperson says talks with Bearspaw are confidential, but that it's committed to working collaboratively. Experts say Ottawa needs to be more forthcoming.
Canada should be transparent about why they're delaying or why they can't hand over control over capital.
3 other First Nations in Western Canada have been able to take control of their resource wealth and self-manage the money in a trust fund. The Samson Cree Nation south of Edmonton was the first after a legal battle stretching 16 years, led by Stephen Buffalo's father.
The federal government fought tooth and nail. They spent millions and millions of dollars to prove that they were right and to really force the colonialism that we couldn't take care of our own money.
Still, Buffalo says it was worth it. Now he hopes the Bearspaw First Nation will also win its fight and reclaim its money. Kyle Bax, CBC News, near Morley, Alberta.
CBC News has learned that Ottawa has reached a multi-billion-dollar agreement with Newfoundland and Labrador to financially restructure the troubled Muskrat Falls project. Sources telling CBC News the federal government will buy an equity stake in the project and will reduce borrowing costs to help keep electricity prices low. The Prime Minister and the Premier are expected to announce the deal tomorrow. In Ontario, some hairstylists are frustrated over the lack of training in textured hair.
We barely even touched on it, and if we did, it was mainly how to get it straight.
Coming up, are hairstyling schools breaking a promise to be more inclusive?
And in Tokyo, an old conversation is getting a new airing: how women should dress. The swift backlash in the sport of beach handball sparked a debate about uniforms. I'll look at how Olympic events are evolving, if at all.
Here comes Bailey, he's got it! 9.84, a world record for Donovan Bailey!
Plus, it's Canada's iconic sprint. Donovan Bailey reflects on his record-breaking moment 25 years to the day.
I love it. I've been humbled.
We're back in 2. A fire crew from Australia has arrived in BC this afternoon, the latest of hundreds of out-of-province crews battling more than 250 wildfires, and they all got some good news today. Officials say more stable weather this week should give firefighters a bit of an edge. And fire crews in Northern Ontario battling more than 150 fires. About a third of those are out of control. Thousands of people in remote areas have been forced to flee. Dry conditions in much of the prairies, similar story, causing lots of serious anxiety. The impact of drought on crops has been devastating. Farmers are used to rolling with what nature brings them, but many say these days is taking a toll on their mental health. Omera Issa explains.
As Jeremy Welter looks out at his scorched fields, all he sees are acres of financial uncertainty and devastation.
This is our barley crop. It should all be this lush color of green, and you can see it's yellow and dead.
This has affected his mental health, and he can barely sleep at night.
I feel like I did everything I could, and you can't help but feel like a failure, even though you couldn't have done anything different. You can't make it rain.
After weeks of record-breaking heat in the west and little rain, Welter's story echoes with that of farmers across the prairies.
Extreme stress, desperation, crisis.
Adele Stewart is a rancher and says she doesn't know how she will continue to feed her horses. She's also the executive director of the Do More Agriculture Foundation, an organization which helps farmers across the country with their mental health. And the calls are pouring in.
We usually start to hear from farmers and producers around fall or like late August when harvest starts, because that, is the stressful time for them. But we are getting these calls, and we have for the last, 2 weeks already.
Anxiety, depression, and stress are rampant among Canadian farmers. According to the Canadian Association of Mental Health, farmers are 70% more likely to live with chronic stress than the general Canadian population. All this stress can even lead to thoughts of suicide.
They're asking for peer-to-peer support networks. So farmers supporting farmers, people in the community trained in mental health first aid and suicide intervention who really understand what it means to be a farmer.
In the meantime, Jeremy Welter hopes he can withstand this tough year for his family's sake. Omera Issa, CBC News, near Kerrobert, Saskatchewan.
There's a new fitness trend among elite athletes, but does it work?
Often these things are presented as if they're going to have this huge benefit.
Coming up, the latest training fad. Is it a pathway to Olympic success? Plus, there's a remarkable difference in how some women and men are forced to dress in competition, and now there's a call for change. Stay with us.
Sharon.
Ooh, Olympics, love it. Reminds me of being a kid and skating, dreaming of the cheering crowds.
You were a figure skater?
Sort of. I wanted to be one of the girls that goes on the ice collecting all the flowers after. Got my big break when my cousin Lori placed at nationals.
Now, what happened?
I rushed out onto the ice, but I forgot to take my skate guards off, cracked my head, lost a tooth, and tripped a silver medalist from Winnipeg.
Oh, Ross.
What doesn't kill you? Or a silver medalist from Winnipeg. Makes you stronger.
Strays, this fall on CBC and CBC Gem.
Welcome back to our coverage of Tokyo 2020. These are touted as the first gender balance games in history, and they've come with a promise to change how women are treated. Here's Adrian to show us how that's going.
The picture says a lot. The men's versus the women's uniforms for the Norwegian beach handball team. The distinction mandated by the European Handball Federation, right down to the angle and width of the bikini bottoms. Norway has been fighting this for years, and weeks ago the women decided to play in shorts. They paid for that, each player fined, but this is how you start something. The superstar Pink offered to pay the fines, says she is proud of their protest. Average citizens are offering to pay too, baffled by rules like this in 2021.
What possible reason is there for that other than some person fought it up 20 or 30 years ago or something?
Beach handball isn't an Olympic sport, but it keeps trying to be one. Maybe that's why the European Federation is suggesting change is coming. If it is, it's subtle. Some German gymnasts decided in Tokyo to wear unitards just like the men. It's not against the rules, it's just unusual. And they're hoping it catches on, if women wanted to. Which is the point athletes want to make, that they call the shots. Paralympian Olivia Breen was trying to forge her own path with a pair of competition shorts she'd hoped to wear in Tokyo in August. Instead, an official told her they were too short. The policing of female athletes' clothing takes all forms and needs a rethink, they argue. Camera angles are getting a rethink here in Tokyo. The Olympic Broadcasting Services has issued new guidelines for coverage, pointedly focusing on athleticism, not bodies. What may surprise is that apparently the shift is seen as somewhat challenging.
In the gender ongoing fight, one of the most difficult things that's resisting is the unconscious bias that all of us carry. What we want to highlight, even when we go close, is the sporting capacity, the sporting prowess, rather than focusing on details of human body that have to do with a reference to people being sexy or being attractive in a specific way.
And so back to the beach for a moment. This is a sport where the women do have some options for what to wear. Restricted for size and tightness still, but it's not just bikinis. The athletes here well aware of the movement afoot.
What is the conversation like in beach volleyball about this?
It's probably a long process with everything in sports. You start the conversation somewhere and then you start and then you change it to whatever everybody feels comfortable to, but I think you always need to have a start of the conversation and it's good that it's there.
Maybe this is that.
Yeah, so let's see.
You can forgive the hesitations about whether much will change or when. The OBS official offered us some numbers that really make the case. Worldwide, women's sports, Ian, only account for about 4% of the global sports coverage. And even here at the Olympics, only about 20% of the media personnel are women. So time does not move that quickly in this world. Ian, back to you.
All right, Adrian, thank you. Another Canadian woman has won gold at these games.
Push up. On. Come on. Straight.
It's there. Can she stand still? Yes, she can. And she let us out the cry of joy.
Maud Charon of Rimouski, Quebec, lifting 131 kilograms in her third and final attempt at the clean and jerk. That put her in first place in the women's 64-kilogram competition. On Monday, of course, Canadian swimmer Maggie McNeil won gold in the women's 100-meter butterfly.
Has the clean. Now she needs the jerk.
And this joyous moment was historic for the Philippines. Weightlifter Heidelin Diaz became the first athlete from that country to win an Olympic gold medal ever. It was in the women's 55-kilogram class. The president's office tweeted to the 30-year-old, "The entire Filipino nation is proud of you." Along with that praise, the government is awarding her a home worth more than $800,000. Gymnastics is one of the oldest Olympic sports, and over the decades, the competitions have changed dramatically. Briar Stewart looks at how the sport has evolved and what it takes to be a medalist these days.
One of the greatest sporting rivalries was on display in Tokyo. The USA-Russia battle is nothing new, but the style of gymnastics performed by all athletes has completely evolved.
It doesn't matter your body type, it doesn't matter your age, you can be successful. And I think that's something so beautiful about the sport and something that we need to embrace.
Canadian Ellie Black says power and strength are valued even more now. That's the only way gymnasts can execute increasingly difficult routines.
9-7-8-7.
Kyle Schufelt, who won Canada's first ever gold medal in artistic gymnastics in 2004, is now working as a commentator for CBC. He says changes in equipment have helped gymnasts soar higher, and the judging is much different than when Nadia Comaneci got her perfect 10 in 1976.
In 2006, they changed the scoring system, so there's a difficulty value added to the execution score. Before, there used to be a lot more artistry and a lot more balletic gymnastics, but now it's really evolved to the place of athleticism.
He says it's no longer just a sport for girls and young teens. Take American gymnast Simone Biles. At age 24, she's pushing the boundaries of what's thought to be humanly possible. But no one matches the longevity of Oksana Chusovitina, a gymnast from Uzbekistan. She's 46 and competed in her 8th Olympics. Elfie Schlegel says it's much different than when she was competing for Canada back in the late 1970s.
I can remember over the years, gymnastics is the Cinderella sport at the Olympic Games, and that was primarily because of people like Olga Korbut, if you go far back as 1972.
Back then, the Belarusian gymnast was often referred to as a pixie, but that's not the ideal anymore.
I personally enjoy watching this style of gymnastics, and I think it's so motivating for the younger athletes who don't have to feel that this is it for me, it's do or die. I got to make it today or I'm never going to have another chance.
All of those in her book, 14-1.
Because some of the very best in the world are showing that they can keep performing at the highest level and don't need to give up on competition just because they're getting older. Briar Stewart, CBC News, Tokyo.
Years of training go into every Olympic appearance, and here's what's trending in Tokyo. Some athletes are using a method called blood flow restriction to try to gain an advantage, but does it work? Vicadopia has that story.
Elite athletes need every edge they can get over their competitors. So for many, like members of Canada's rugby team and this U.S. wrestler, they've turned to blood flow restriction training, working out with tight cuffs or bands.
So we've been studying it in my laboratory for over 10 years now. And in that time, the science has come a long ways.
Jamie Burr says doing a relatively light workout while restricting blood flow with straps tricks our bodies into responding as though we're training harder, building muscle and strength with less strain.
It's not going to take somebody from zero to hero, but elite athletes are looking for every last little bit that they can squeeze out of it. And once you've already done, the heavy lifting, you've filled all the big buckets, this is sort of an icing on the cake.
Some physiotherapists use blood flow restriction to speed up recovery from injury or surgery, though scientists are still trying to understand the details of how it works and how much of a difference it really makes for the average weekend warrior.
Sometimes people, you think, oh, geez, I feel stronger or I feel faster or whatever, but when you objectively measure, there's no difference, right? And we know that even placebo is like 30% effective.
The training trends of elite athletes seem to come and go every Olympics. Remember kinesio taping or cupping used by Michael Phelps and then the Prime Minister? The benefits of blood flow restriction may be supported by science, but
often these things are presented as if they're going to have this huge benefit, but often for the recreational athlete, the benefit might be much smaller if it exists at all.
At the Olympic Games, small could be the difference between victory and defeat. Vic Adopia, CBC News, Toronto.
The day has just begun in Tokyo, and so during this Canadian night, there will be a lot at stake for some of our athletes at the Games. Andrew Chang looks at what's ahead.
So overnight, there's always so much that can happen, right? But if I'm being perfectly honest, first thing I'm checking is what happened with Team Canada in the pool. Now, it's already been medal after medal for this team, starting, of course, with what feels like an eternity ago, that momentum-building 4x100 meter freestyle relay on the women's side, capturing the silver on day 2. But there are still so many more exciting races to come. The 100 meter freestyle, such a marquee event. Penny Oleksiak and Kyla Sanchez both racing for Canada. And remember, this is the event in which Penny won gold in Rio 2016. These are just the heats happening overnight, though. So the goal, of course, simply to post a time that's fast enough to lock in a spot in the semifinal, and then they'll go from there. There is the 200-meter breaststroke. Kelsey Wog and Sydney Pickram set to start. And Sydney, you'll recall, she pulled herself out of an earlier race, which gave her some time to rest and to focus for her races ahead. So we'll see what happens on that front. And finally, the 4x200-meter freestyle relay. Again, still just the early heats here on the women's side, but with this team's often medal-worthy performances in the relay, it's just going to be one to watch. We'll all know how it turned out tomorrow morning.
And throughout the Games, Andrew's co-hosting Tokyo Today alongside two-time Olympian and world champion hurdler Perdita Felicien. You can watch each day starting at noon Eastern on CBC Television and CBC Gem. And tonight we're also looking way back at a historic Canadian Olympic moment.
These three must have wondered what hit them over the last 20 metres as Bailey came through like a tornado.
25 years later, Donovan Bailey remembers the moment he broke a world record. Stay with us.
I'm David Ridgen, and this is The Next Call.
I can't let it go. She deserves that much.
Now available on CBC Listen or wherever you get your podcasts.
Here comes Bailey. He's got it. 9.84, a world record for Donovan Bailey and a gold medal.
Perhaps you remember where you were for this golden moment. 25 years ago today, Canadian Donovan Bailey won the 100-meter race in Atlanta, setting a new world record and securing his spot in Olympic history. And Donovan Bailey joins us now. Donovan, 25 years to the night. When you think back to that moment, to that race, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Ian, great to see you. You know what? I think that it's amazing that 25 years later we're celebrating, this amazing sporting moment with fans in Canada, with fans around the world, and I think that I love it. I've been humbled, and there's a ton of people have reached out to me today, and I'm very happy. And I don't know what else I could say.
Well, listen, I've talked to you a few times, and I've never asked you the question I want to ask you now, and I've always wanted to know the answer. Seconds after the race, that picture that so many people will remember, we're looking at it now on the screen, a big smile, more than a smile, your mouth is wide open. Do you remember, what were you thinking at that moment?
You know what, at that very moment, actually, I was, Dan, my coach, always sits, right parallel to the finish line. So, and he sits there just to kind of assess my, my technique and kind of, what my race formula. And I really kind of just turned to look at Dan. I was looking at Dan and kind of go, we did it, buddy, that sort of thing. So it wasn't, it's a goal accomplished. And Dan was there, and I knew that he and I were going to have words after because he knew that I essentially didn't execute properly, but I did win and I did break the world record.
People need to know that race, it was an extraordinary finish, but also at the beginning, I was at the CBC Broadcast Center in Atlanta watching the monitor. There were a few people there, all of whom could have won that race. I mean, you were up against an incredible field and you overcame the pressure. And of course, you finished first. You are an Olympic champion. There is a young man in Tokyo right now that knows what that pressure feels like. Andre de Grasse, probably the best sprinter we've had in this country since you were at the top of your game. What do you think he's going through right now, just days away from his race?
Well, one, I think that Andre has managed his season very well. He's not let the pressure of the Diamond League get to him. He clearly knows that there's no urgency for him to run majorly fast during the Diamond League. So I think he's playing a little possum. I totally believe that mentally and physically he's capable of winning in Tokyo, and I look forward to seeing him race.
We have just maybe 30 seconds left, Donovan. Nobody in the stands, no huge crowds in Tokyo. Will that make a difference, do you think?
Well, yes, it definitely. I mean, if you look at what Simone Biles did, I mean, it's clear that when you're a star and you're used to the big crowds, it does give you that extra edge. And there are going to be athletes that are not used to competing under the lights and under the pressure of a lot of audience that's going to do very well. So I think that the Canadian team has been well prepared. I think that we will bring back a couple of gold medals, but there certainly, Ian, are going to be some athletes that are going to shine when the lights are on, and then there's gonna be a few athletes that's going to falter just because of the fact of that that ambiance and that electricity is not going to be in their field of play.
25 years ago tonight, you were an Olympic champion in the 100 meters, and I should point out, 1 week later, an Olympic champion again with your teammates in the 4x100 relay. Two fantastic moments for Canadian sports. Donovan, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you. And for everyone, get out there and let's cheer this Canadian team on so we can bring back some gold and listen to the Canadian anthem.
Good advice. Next on The National, hairstylists are asking for training that has long been excluded from trade schools.
Have to be completely inclusive, and that means everyone down the line, from straight hair all the way to the textured hair.
The call for diversity in hairstyling has been going on for years. Are schools finally listening? Stay with us.
I'm Elamine Abdulmahmoud. Tomorrow on CBC's daily news podcast Front Burner, harrowing testimony from U.S. Capitol police officers as a government inquiry into the January 6th insurrection kicks off. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Some Ontario hairstylists are speaking out about the training standards for their industry. They say there's almost no recognition that people of different races can have different types of hair. Despite 4 years of work on an expanded curriculum, there has been no change. Angelina King spoke with stylists who say the lack of representation is harmful.
Not only does this Toronto salon specialize in textured hair, it's a place where some have finally found acceptance.
It took decades.
Deanne Sims had been turned away by some stylists. Others called her hair a problem.
It does have the effect of this continued discourse around difference or otherness.
Ontario's education standards for hairstyling includes very little instruction on textured and curly hair. Salon owners say that leaves some clients feeling less confident stylists are capable of working with their hair, and some stylists feeling unprepared or worried they'll damage someone's hair.
If people were taught the right way, and had a better understanding, it wouldn't be as difficult.
This salon opened in 2019 to cater to all hair. Charisse Bisso graduated from hairstyling school last year and says the education on textured hair was almost non-existent.
We barely even touched on it, and if we did, it was mainly how to get it straight.
It's incredibly frustrating. Last summer, the salon's owner started a petition demanding the province include comprehensive training on textured hair. More than 11,000 people signed it.
We have to be completely inclusive, and that means everyone down the line from straight hair all the way to the textured hair.
Well, some schools have included their own training on textured hair. It's not mandatory. The Ontario College of Trades sets the program standards, and 4 years after working to make them more inclusive, nothing has changed. It blames the fact the province is shutting down the agency, but says it still hopes to have the standards finalized by the end of this year.
So it's very, very diverse.
In the meantime, Michelle Bonnick has been filling the gap.
Yeah. It's perfect.
By offering workshops on braiding, weaving, and extensions.
Oh, this is nice.
She also educates clients on the significance of certain styles.
There were slaves that were freed because of braiding maps in their hair.
A path forever tying hair to Black history. Angelina King, CBC News, Toronto.
Next on The National, a heartwarming encounter.
What would I ever say to the man that saved my life?
Well, she got the chance, and her reunion is our moment. Next. Last August, Brianna Seawald got into a horrific car crash, breaking her neck, her spine, but she survived, all because of one man who Brianna calls her angel. Now, almost a year later, Brianna finally got a chance to meet him, and tonight their reunion is our moment.
I think I have been thinking about this moment for months now. What would I ever say to the man that saved my life? I think it was through Facebook. My granny actually found his daughter, and that's how we connected. And even to this day, he saved it in my phone as Angel John, and that's how me and my family refer to him when we're talking about him.
So we made arrangements and we got to meet. It was absolutely just amazing to see her. There's a brightness to her when you look at her face and her smile.
I've just been waiting for that moment for what seems like almost a year, and it almost was a year now. There was never going to be enough words, any kind of gesture or gift that was ever going to be able to encompass what he's done for me. Honestly, it was by far the best day of my recovery so far. I have a wedding coming up soon. Hopefully we can start planning my wedding, and John will obviously be a guest there because he's the reason that I will be able to attend my own wedding. Hopefully we will be able to stay in touch for as long as possible now.
What an incredible story, and a couple of notes from our producer, Eliza. First of all, John had a terrible crash himself. He was riding a motorcycle, broke his neck years ago, and so when he responded to this crash, he was thinking broken neck all the way along, and one of the reasons probably why he knew exactly what to do to try to reduce the possibility of paralysis. The other thing is Brianna has 250,000 or maybe even more followers on TikTok because she's done kind of humorous stories about her recovery to show that the spirit can continue even when the body is broken. That is the National for July 27th. Good night.